What do you see below? Have you landed on the ground? What do you sense?
I see bright lights.
You see white lights?
They're bright.
Remember to trust your very first impression. What do you feel? Look around. White lights?
At first, like before you start talking, it's like I felt like I was falling asleep, like I was falling into a dream. And then it's like I woke back up to hear you talking.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I must have really put you deeper in there. Do you see the white lights?
Yeah.
Just take your time. Don't rush it. Relax. Just see where you go. Just breathe.
It's interesting. It does feel different. Like what I had seen before, it felt like I was falling asleep. I know that Steve was talking to me, like we were going somewhere. But then when I started listening to you, it's like I woke up out of it.
And what was the dream about?
I think we were about to go into a building.
Into a building?
Mm-hmm.
What did this building feel like?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what the relax cards meant. They wanted me to relax deeper.
What was that again?
So maybe that's what those relax cards were. They wanted me to relax deeper than usual.
Deeper than usual?
Or deeper than what I'm used to.
You're having a hard time losing control? And not being as aware?
I think so. Even when I start to feel numb, I move sometimes.
See if we can get the ego to move to the side. Maybe the ego is like wanting to control and protect you from something. If we can ask our higher self to please aid us, our archangels, that can aid us in maybe moving, helping the ego move aside, smoothly move aside, honoring and thanking the ego for all the work it always does, protecting us and loving us. but moving it aside so we can get the help and the answers that Siobhan might need for today. Please aid our sister, Siobhan, aid me in helping us get to what the light and answers and love and light are for our highest good. Siobhan,
Yes.
do you feel better channeling? Do you feel like that's something you can tap into?
I know that I can. I know I haven't been practicing, and my hands are on fire.
I feel like they don't want us to do this type of regression. They want us to channel. They want you to channel.
Yeah.
That's what I keep getting. That we've moved on from this type.
Mm.
That you are ready to channel.
Mm.
Metatron has said that the person who speaks will move to the center of your attention. Focus on that person or that entity that is in front of you who's ready to speak. Can you do that, Siobhan? You see someone clearly in the front of your eyes, in the forefront, ready to speak.
Yes.
Who is it? Don't be afraid. It's really happening. Trust your heart. You are of source light, Siobhan, and you are protected. They're ready to come through, but only you have the answer to who is connecting. Relax your body. Let everything go. Just breathe in and out. Who is the first person you see?
Can you speak to Archangel Metatron first?
Hmm? You see
Speak
Metatron?
to, yeah, speak to him first.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing here. Do you have any questions for him that you would like me to ask? Do you want me to try asking some of the questions I would have written down? Or would you just like just see what he has to say and just say?
Yes, or like just getting started with him first.
I'm sorry?
Like just getting comfortable with him first.
Take your time. Take your time. Make sure you feel that it's the right energy for you and the best energy and loving light. And that it comes from source and you feel it from source.
He's saying greetings.
Hmm?
Greetings.
Greetings. Greetings, my brother. I honor you and love you. Very happy to have you with us.
She knows that we are always present, that we're always with her. She can hear us in her mind. She's very good at asking others questions.
Who
She's not
is?
as Siobhan. She's not as used to
Didn't ask the questions.
being asked a question.
I saw that coming. You are really good at it. You're much better than I am. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're so good at it, actually. I've learned a lot from you. I still keep learning every day from you. You're an amazing teacher, Siobhan. You just have to trust yourself a little more that you are this beautiful tool and that you are capable of channeling clearly what he has to say. I can ask you a question to them, the ones that we've written that are more general. How's that? Can we start with that?
Yes, it's we're trying to figure out what it is. It's like even from the beginning when she would receive messages or dreams, she would get really excited. And getting really excited, she's always been aware, can have a similar expression as fear. So she knows that she's capable, but she still has a hard time finding the balance and letting completely go.
She's, I feel that I get that she's wants to do it right. She wants to be fear because she sees so many light workers not quite doing their job how she thinks it should be. So she wants to make sure that when she does it, it's in alignment and that the message is correct. And so I can see this as something that is probably affecting her on being able to feel on the confidence she needs to just say it. Yeah, she gets very excited and she's like, I have to make sure I get the right message and it's clear word by word. Yeah, I can say that.
And not wanting to misrepresent anybody.
And we honor them. But we also have to recognize that you will take certain things in your perspective because it's coming through you. And we're going to use your language skills. And that is part of who you are. You're not going to lose who you are completely. And I don't think they want you to. So keep that in mind. You still be you. And Metatron is very accepting of you using your own energy for this.
Yes, you are very wise as well, Sister Idania.
Because I had to let that go since my vocabulary is not as advanced as some people. They have a challenge understanding or believing that I am channeling. Just let that go. Your heart knows it's true. And there might be people that will relate to your way and your energy that you put in, because it's a collaboration with our brother that you're having. And he loves you and he accepts you wholly for who you are.
Yes.
So, Siobhan, as we stay in conscious and he's coming through, I'm going to have him speak. And if you could just let it flow, okay? Just let it flow. And I'm going to ask some of the more general questions. Actually, I'm going to ask him about Michael. So we've had these messages from Michael Jackson throughout the week. Both of us have been having messages and songs as soon as we wake up. Beautiful songs from Michael. And we want to know from your perspective, why is he so strong? His energy so strongly coming through these past few days for us.
Yes. Michael's energy is one of pure joy, pure love. And he brings forward a strong sense of enjoying life, embodying the joyful energy and the creation energy and the ability or the probable creation or the choice that you could make just to experience and embody joy while incarnated. And focusing on creation. And that's why his energy is coming forward so strongly at this time to help people to move forward in creation and joy and love and that childlike energy, which is what he embodied so greatly and had a hard time experiencing based on the general way that humans believe life should be.
I think right now we're at a point where you take things so seriously because of all the things that have been going on.
Yes. what we're wanting people to shift toward is joyful creation. Yes, we have been focused so much on saving the world, from the darkness, on focusing on the war, but not focusing on the joy. And where we are moving towards is an energy of joyful creation and experiencing ourselves as the creators that we are, which is what life was intended to be. It was not ever supposed to be the darkness and the trauma, but that is a path that was taken, but it was only for a time. And now we are moving away from that. And even though things are coming up to be healed, released, and cleared, those of us that are ready and those of us that are willing, we really, really would encourage you to focus on the joy and on the love and of the bliss energy that you came from. And that's why those of you that came from such higher vibrations, higher dimensions came here. We did not want you to get stuck in the trauma that many of you were introduced to, because they wanted you to keep your joyful light energy away from this dimension. But remembering that, feeling that, being that is what's going to move us forward to the higher energy that you came here to be, that you came here to bring.
I guess we're so like taken by duty at the moment. All of us feel like we have this big responsibility to make things move forward, that we are forgetting to be joyful, to creating joy, happiness, and relaxing, and having fun. And that's a really great, important message, I think, for the collective and for us light workers to keep in mind, to receive balance on any darkness. And I guess we get stronger, right? We'll get stronger as we do this. And it's good for our energy, balancing that, correct?
Yes, yes. And she actually receives her messages so clearly. That's why when we came to her in the car, we did not come to her with a message. We came to her with joy and dancing and bliss and having fun and just being with her. And even though she sometimes gets concerned even about her twin, when he is in his happy energy, when he is just dancing and enjoying being with her, it does not even matter if he fully understands or remembers who he is, because he is feeling that love energy and he feels it so fully when he's with her. And that is what makes her happy, and it makes him happy. And when they just tap into that more often, it has such a beautiful impact on everyone around them. And even the children, they feel it and they sense it and they see it, and they really do feel their happiness when they're together, when they're focused on just being happy and not with the circumstance or the issues or the problems or the money and the work. Like he often says, plenty of times he wish he could just be unlimited, even though he feels that his unlimitedness would be having lots of money, which does bring freedom. But if you could just relax it to the energy of what unlimited feels like, those experiences will come forward more often for them. And it's such a joy. He is such a joyful being when he allows himself to be, and not so focused on his job or what he feels he should be doing. A lot of light workers are confusing when we tell them. A lot of people, we give them those messages of just finding your joy, not being so concerned with the money, even though it is necessary to make things happen or to pay your bills. That is necessary. But when you move into the energy of freedom, you bring forward the freedom and the creation and the expansion in a much faster, easier way than focusing on what you have to do or what you feel that you have to do. That's why when she got home, she still had a full tank of gas. We thought that was funny, but she understood why. But it was the joyful energy, and the joy will surpass the like the circumstances or the matrix system, because we're evolving and expanding and changing the matrix system, or the way that you have been taught you have to operate within this matrix. And so as you change the subtle changes or notice the subtle changes, the bigger changes will come forward real quickly to follow.
So we want to almost create the change by not worrying, and by creating the belief of the abundance around us. Is that what you mean?
Yes, and the belief that anything is possible and that you now have the opportunity to create a new matrix. So at least like the beliefs that you see, like the operating system, it is what you have been operating in. But letting it be more fluid and allowing, seeing what changes can come forward, not holding to the way it has been. But just almost like that's how it can be, but it's not how it has to be. But just allowing the space, the fluidness, the malleability for those changes to be more fluid and not so structured and standard in rules, and it has to be this way, so hard. It doesn't have to be so hard. And even with, we've even told her with like money and abundance or creation, anything it is, there are no rules. Like if you woke up and literally your couch just turned into money, who's going to come into your house and say that's impossible and you shouldn't have all this money? Who's really going to say that?
Wow. That is the power that we think that is limited. The illusion that we think that is not possible.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Father.
Yes, and even the monks, she's even watched, and we've even told her, there's a Syrian that told her, each and every one of you have the ability to even create crystals, diamonds, gold, whatever you want. These are elements, and they are one with you. You have the ability to create anything, but it's about freeing your mind from this construct.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't beat up on yourself if you don't do it right away. It's about
then
practice.
We feel like the time constraint. The time. Like how much time do I have?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your connection with Michael Metatron? Obviously you guys went together to see her. What's your connection with Michael Jackson? Like, do you guys have, does he have a fractal? Did he have a fractal when he was on Earth? Like, what's your connection? And I sense that Michael's really shy, and he's giggling, and he's shy, and he's like really shy about speaking. So you came to speak in his behalf because he was actually shy about coming forward. Is that correct? Am I getting the right information?
Yes, I feel like they're both shy. Like she's seen him and she's talked to him multiple times. He, of course, as you know, is a volunteer. He volunteered to come here just as you did, just as she did, to help with the ascension. So we've all known each other. We've all incarnated other places together. So we've worked together before. So she knows that he's here. She knows that he's been talking to her, even about messages in his songs where he felt like he cannot always be straightforward about the messages, but knew that those that were in tune would pick up on the meaning or the energy within the song. So she does have to go to the restroom, and I think after she comes back, they will be ready. I think he will be ready. I think she should be ready.
Perfect. Let's pause this and let her take a break. I'm really excited to keep the conversation going. I thought we have a beautiful flow. Thank you, brother. And definitely take care of her first. Are we ready to continue?
Yes.
So our message was clear about our joy and feeling the joy of everyday life and taking time to laugh and feel joy and not be so concerned of what we have to do and feeling the time constraint on our shoulders. Is that clear? Kind of like where we can pick up where we left off.
Who are you talking to? Who are you addressing?
Well, who's there now? Is it Metatron? Is someone else? It's willing to speak. Is Michael ready to speak yet?
Yes, I think so. They clarified that when I seen the image of my twin walking me in the building, it was like walking me to be amongst them. So there's several.
Oh, fun stuff. Exciting. It just feels like you're with family and friends, so it feels like a wonderful celebration of like a family reunion. That's what it's feeling like. Very exciting. So I guess we'll have our brother Michael step forward, and I'm so excited to hear what he has to say. He's so cute. Okay. So, Brother Michael, we are so excited for you to join us today. And we thank you and honor you for coming forward. And I know Siobhan has very particular questions, but before we start with the very particular questions, is this Michael? Brother Michael Jackson?
Yes, sister. I'm here.
Mm-hmm. And can you confirm your origin, Brother Michael?
I am a starseed from the Pleiades.
From the
Pleiades? Pleiadia?
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Uh-huh. All right. It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you, brother. We honor you. We thank you for all that you volunteered to do while you were here and all the beauty that you brought to the world and all the joy that you brought to the world. So I'm going to ask the questions that she wanted to know.
Oh, before you ask, I do want to let you know that we work together all of us, all three, well, more than just three, but, you know, you and Sister Siobhan, when you help with the Pleiadian ascension.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad that we can all be part of that, and I'm honored. I always feel sort of a really big familiarity amongst people like you, I guess. Sort of like we both tend to attract. I tend to run into a lot of them, a lot of celebrities, and throughout my life. Does this have something to do with that? Some of them are working in the light and are volunteers. Is that why I always run into them?
Yes, yes. Those of the light have incarnated in mass, as you know. And so we see them everywhere, or they're everywhere, in all fields, all systems, all races, all around the world. Some awakened, some not, some activated at different degrees, some not. But yes, we attract each other. Our souls recognize each other, as you know, whether we're conscious of it or not. But it is always nice to be conscious and remember. And I feel like there's a lot more awakened, especially now than it was, years ago, or even when I was there. It did feel really dark a lot. So it's very, very emotionally moving. And actually, I feel more joyful coming back this way as I've been interacting with other members of the light or volunteers, much more joyful than when I was actually in my body when I was there.
Yeah, you had there was some hard times back then, even for me. I wasn't fully awakened. So I wasn't fully awakened. I just felt this familiarity all the time with you, a familiarity that I didn't feel. I guess I didn't feel the craziness the other people felt, sort of like, yeah, like I know him.
Yes, and we definitely were not meant to fit in. So.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for telling me that, brother. I know what you were trying to say. I got the message. Thank you.
Yeah, and Siobhan says all the time, she tells people, if you're fitting in, you're not doing your job. So you're not meant to fit in. You want to let that go, the human of you.
Well, I have a hard time, and she does it. She's better at that than me. I have a harder time accepting the attraction people have towards me, or the popularity I acquired. Because of course I saw how you left us, and I know that you are we are a lot alike. So I see myself, like, I kept thinking that if I get to your level, or if I get to where you were, that I would leave too quickly. And so I almost hide sometimes so I can linger around I can linger around longer and get more work done, and I can never seem to hide. I always seem to have to be around people at all times, and you kind of like just by you telling me this makes me understand it a little more. So thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate and honor that so much. I mean, of course, I would never do the millions of people you do. I probably won't get to that concept, but I feel like I can still touch a lot of people where I'm at right now.
Well, regardless of what it looks like or what it appears to be, you are known among the multiverse. So you help way more than what you are consciously, and communicate with way more than what you are consciously aware of. So one experience on the earth could not possibly determine how many souls or aspects that you interact with or that you impact. And don't ever be afraid or think anything could be too much or think that you cannot handle it, because for one, the energy is different from when I was among many. And that's why I attracted so many. But I attracted light, I attracted dark, I attracted it all. And I had a lot that wanted to feed off my light. And even there's been a lot around you that want to feed off your light. Even if the number of people may have been more physically, in my case, in this one incarnation, that does not count for all of your experiences or all of your incarnations. It is just one lifetime. And I'm sure there's been lifetimes where you have been famous, in a sense, whether it's this planet or a different one. But always shine your light no matter what the situation, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on. You don't dim your light, or it's not necessary for anyone, especially as the vibration, as the energies are shifting. It's change. This is about change. And you are waking up so many. You're waking up so many. And I was honored, regardless of what unlikely or, people were afraid of change. And, a lot of the messages in my songs were about change and seeing and being different. And, I realized early, as many of you do, that something was wrong or something was off or something just was not right, or there was an element of not love to it. Even though I loved what I was doing, I could feel that everything was not all love and joy around me. And so, yes, I did put up many barriers because I didn't have others like you around to talk to or understand me. And I didn't know how to interact with people and protect myself at the same time. And so I would just try to enjoy life or run off or be secluded. Or, as you know, I often just enjoyed the energy of children because they were innocent without focused intention and deceit. And when you're just surrounded by so much deceit and dark energy, it is scary. It's very scary. And you just want to leave and you want to hide and you want to go back to where you came from, especially once you remember, as many volunteers remember, they know that it's not the energy, and I'm like crying right now, but the energy is just so pure from where we came from. And this is why we're here, to restore that here so that they can feel and experience what life was supposed to be and what it's going to be. What is going to be. It's okay. All the trauma, all the pain, it's okay, because we're not going to stay in it. And we are doing what we came here to do. And that is what we should joy about, be joyful about, be dance about. We try to get Siobhan to dance. I don't know what it is. She just won't do it. She just does not do it. We're like, we know you. Like, she's so like focused. Like, just dance sometimes. She'll dance in her dream time.
We're taking everything so seriously. We just need to like relax a little.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is a message that she feels like she's getting easily, that she needs to relax a little. How can you help her with this? Like what message do you have for her to relax? And everybody that is wanting to see the change come in full, and like fully come to forward. Like, we want that change to be like fully embraced by others, but we want people to be happy, right? I mean, that's like key.
Yeah, just allow, like, when you feel the waves of energy, when you feel the joy and the bliss, accept them, embrace them, sit in them longer instead of just kind of brushing them away, or like, think it's your imagination, or think it is something that you can't sustain. Because the longer you just enjoy it, the more consistent, the more you'll feel it often, the more you'll be able to embrace it for longer periods of time until it becomes your experience. And that's how you're bringing in these energies.
Your actual nature, yeah. It should become part of your nature.
Yeah, it actually is your nature. That's your true nature.
Thank you, brother. That's a good reaffirmation, reaffirming of remembering who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So she has some questions that if you could answer for her, I know she'll be very grateful, and I want to honor that for her. This is like all new to her, the channeling, so I want to like help make sure she gets everything she needs out of this experience, and I'm just excited for her. There was a sense of Palo Santo and the connection after the dance that you guys did for her. What did this mean? Did it have a special meaning? Why that scent?
Oh, I'm laughing because I think that was actually Archangel Michael, and something between Archangel Michael and her twin being manly. They were being really manly. They're like, we're not doing those girly, flowery scents. Because she usually would smell like flowers and roses. They're like, we're not doing that. So that's what they did for her. That's what they did. It was, she felt it. It was that masculine. Yeah.
Keep their manhood in check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! Even in that atmosphere, you guys still do that. Very interesting. Kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see because Archangel Michael's always trying to be tough. Yeah, I know.
Her twin too. He's like that. He's not as bad as his human form, but he's very masculine and strong.
Yeah, I like Steve. I don't know. I like him. I like him because I know where he's going through. I know he's going through. He reminds me a lot of my husband. Like my husband fights to attain his manhood, and it's hard being with me too. It's kind of hard to be with because I'm in such a awakened level and so much faster than he is at everything for then. So he's holding on to his manhood for dear life. So how can we? This is a great question that we probably both, me and Siobhan, could use some help and guidance in. Like, how do we deal as such advanced light workers to have partners that are not quite awakened and are, they're living so much part of their existence in 3D?
Yes. I think that's a good question. And I think part of it is because there's the fear. There's this fear that's been put forward that the patriarchy is going to lose, or that the patriarchy is going to have to step down, and that there's going to be a matriarchy, and that the women are going to take over. And we know that that is not true, as this is about balance. This is about balance and integration. No more extreme polarities. No one in charge and the others are unnecessary. Or there's not going to be an energy of demeaning or degrading. So lifting each other up, comforting each other, understanding that it's about balance. And that's how it was always meant to be. And that's how it is with Source. Source is balance, the masculine and the feminine. They're both necessary. They're both loved. They're both honored. You know, they're both human. They're both evolved. They're both angelic. They're both everything. So there is no one is more important. One is less important. One is stronger. One is weaker. There's differences that should be honored, as the differences, even with the individualization of energy, should be honored. So it's just about honor and loving each other. And even with that joy, that admiring each other, that even adulation, it's okay to appreciate each other. Just appreciate each other. And you don't have to hurt or make someone feel bad. Like if we could all sing and dance and all be famous, like it's so much funner.
I know. Isn't it so much fun when you go to a place and you're just like, hi, everybody. And it's like, why is that? My husband's petrified of that, of course, and I'm sure Steve is like very, wonderful,
Yeah, like there was room for her to be more than just like me. There's no reason why, like, even the putting me up on a pedestal. I think even like many of the masters, nobody really wants to be on the pedestal by themselves if it means that everyone else is like beneath them. Like that's not joyful either. It's not
You're
joyful
right.
either.
That's a great point. That's a very good point. It's no fun. It is no fun. You're right. It's no fun when you lose friends over that either, and you make up. You obviously never want to make anybody feel less. And I think like sometimes they think that by us shining brighter, we're trying to dim them, and we're really not. We just want everybody can be just like us. Everybody can just be happy and joyful and have light and glow. Everybody can do it. Everybody
Yes.
can do that if you really want it.
Yes, like I don't feel comfortable going into details, but just if you can imagine just how much discord that would cause between our family, like my family, my brothers and my sisters, when I just wanted us all to be together, like when we were the Jackson Five, or, and bringing our sisters into it and things like that. And people always wanted to separate us, and people always had their own opinion, and this person should do this, and this person should go on their own, and this person should be this, and you don't have the right to sing anymore, and you're not popular anymore, and things like that. Yeah, and I just wanted.
Generous. You're such a generous soul. Mm-hmm. You are. I know your heart, and I know your generosity. I know it. I just know it. I know your generosity. So I know you never wanted to be the center. You wanted everybody to be shining with you.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, brother. Thank you, brother. Let me see if she has any other questions for you. Is there any deeper meaning to the song Smooth Criminal? What is the significance of the children in the video?
So what I shared with Siobhan, and I'm sure other people, if they tune in or pay attention, will notice. Mm-hmm. if you listen to the lyrics, because we're not really speaking of someone dying, but we're speaking of Annie. Annie's representative of the feminine energy and of children specifically. There was a situation, which of course her name was not Annie, but there's a situation I had witnessed of someone that I cared about, and we were children, and I noticed blood on the ground, and I asked her about it, and she would not tell me, but I knew who hurt her. And that's why we were crying in that song. When we cried out, but we couldn't. I didn't feel it was my place because she did not tell me. And it stuck with me for a long time about abused children, about rape and pedophilia, and as you know, the dark rituals. And of course, it was pretty ironic that that would be exactly what would be used against me to try to tarnish my name and tarnish my legacy. And it deeply saddened me, caused me lots of pain and grief, as I've always wanted to protect children. I always wished I could protect myself, even as a child. And I often felt that even.
I mean, you were a victim yourself. You're a victim of it. You started really young, so you had no control. You were basically a victim put into that life cycle or that circle environment.
Yes, there's a lot, and I think enough has been spoken about what they do to children, what the dark ones do.
I wish people were more open to believing it. They're in denial. There's still a lot of people in denial.
And that's okay. The truth is coming forward. And even with that, even with the joy energy, even though it still hurts sometimes when I think about it, but when I move forward in what is coming forward for all of humanity to experience, it far outweighs that temporary experience, because even those of us that are here, that are volunteers, even though it is hard, humanity, Earth, Mother Gaia, they have been experiencing these traumas for far too long, and far much longer than our 1 or 2 lifetimes that we come to the Earth. Or, some people, or some volunteers, it's been a couple times. But far much, like the Earth beings have been traumatized so deeply. It's so rooted in their DNA. And that, I can't stress enough. That's what we agreed upon. That's why we came. And that's what I did to the best of my ability, was bring forward a joyful energy.
You sure did, brother. We honor you. And we thank you so much for all that you did for humanity, for children. I mean, my children weren't even around, and they love you. They know your work more than I do. They're so like, I'm sure you know already what big fans they are of yours. And you know the story, because you have been watching us from up above. So definitely you still bring joy to them. And let me tell you, they get excited when they hear a song from you, and they still, their favorite dances, and they're like teenagers now. We're talking about a whole generation later. Their still favorite dances are yours, and I know you know this, but they love you. So I mean, you definitely have done a beautiful job on that, and we thank you so much, brother, for doing that. We really honor you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any particular message that comes from your heart to the rest of us, to all of us, and to humanity, and how we can spread that joy, and what you think we need to master moving forward, or we need to like focus on, that you think that we're lacking, and are you coming back anytime soon for someone else? Because I mean, I miss you. I miss you around here.
Mm-hmm. Well, to answer the last part first, I don't have any plans to come back right away. I would say focusing on what stirs the joy within you, what stirs your passion, what gets you emotional, what did you want to do or experience when you were a child? What makes you feel young again? There's so many, like by the time they're 22, 25, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do this job. I just got to make money. I just got to feed myself, and they forget, or they let go of what moved them, what they dreamt about, what they envisioned, or what they're almost like, what would you do? What would you create without limitations, without this matrix? Because as we said, it's changing.
So we can
It
create
is changing.
our own matrix now.
Yes. And you're individual creators. So the old matrix was on trying to make everybody create something similar within strict confines or rules. Like if you notice, when people branch out or start creating new things, it's like the powers that be or the controllers try to reach out and get a hold of it, or see how they can, manipulate or control it to fit their matrix control system. You don't need anybody. You don't need funding. You don't need permission. You can create whatever you want. And then there will be others around you that want the same. And you could do it together. You could do it together.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to speaking with you. And oftentimes when I can feel your energy, assisting. And thank you for connecting with us. I know how shy you can be. So I know this is like a big step for you. I know you don't really come forward as much. I think you sort of like enjoying not being in the limelight. And I just thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you for the message. I just wish I could hug you. I miss you. I really do. It's a part of me that really recognizes how close we are. And I feel it, and I feel you as my family, and thank you again. And I know Siobhan really is gonna have so much fun talking about this and seeing this video later. And you make me feel like a superstar. just like you are and like you were. Thank you.
You're welcome. We love you.
I love you more.
We honor you.
Thank you. I love you more. I honor you.
Yes, and the biggest, the strongest message I have is just enjoy. Enjoy, because they don't want you to enjoy. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be in love. But we don't care what they want. We care what you want. And deep down, we all want love. We all want joy. We want to have fun. We want to be free. We want to create. We want to explore. We want to travel. We want to do. And I say do it.
Mm-hmm.
There are no limitations. And this energy is so different now. So different
so
now.
Great to hear. It gives us so much hope as we move forward. And you really have inspired us to just want to do anything, feel anything is possible. And I thank you so much for that hope. Thank you. And with these words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grandma. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And should we continue speaking? Because she can speak to you for hours, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost afraid to cut you off.
It's okay. It's okay. I think that's enough. I think that's enough.
That's enough? You did great. I know you're like, yeah, don't push it. I love you. Okay. Well, we'll see if there's someone else that wants to come through, because we were expecting it to be a different type. So, how's she holding up? How's she holding up?
She's doing fine. She's doing fine.
So, there's other questions and updates. I don't know if someone wants to come through with some of the other more political questions that she has, I guess. But we have some political questions we want answered. Now, maybe you don't want to do this one. Maybe you want to give this to someone else. It's kind of what I'm sensing, but you let me know. You know?
Mm-hmm. We're seeing. Hold on. Who wants to come forward?
Who wants to volunteer?
I feel like this might be enough for today. They're telling me that we're having one with you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to save some of that crazy serious stuff to me.
Yes. Yeah, I do want to look. I do want to point out. Like for Siobhan, like even with you, like you said, we've been coming to you guys for like a week straight, just getting in that joyful energy, getting your energy up, preparing for this.
But how, like, you know, she gets Michael. You know, I just want to say that I want someone just as cool as you, Michael. I'm just saying, because it wouldn't be fair.
Aww. You always have cool. Everyone's cool. We're all cool.
I'm being funny because I mean, hello, you know, I'm still here, and you're still Michael Jackson here. I'm just saying.
Mm. Yes, we're dancing for her again.
I love it. It's wonderful. I'm in like cloud nine right now. Totally in cloud nine, and I know she is. And nothing could make me more happier than seeing her happy. We've struggled keeping it serious in the past 2 weeks, so we really needed this. So we thank you so much. We totally understand, and we're gonna go with the flow. And maybe in a week, then it will be my turn, and we'll have more questions answered. And I'm just gonna relax, because I'm always like on like Mission Impossible. So I'm definitely gonna relax and do it. I needed to hear this. So thank you, and I guess we'll finish and bring Siobhan back. I love and honor you all. Thank you for the protection and love. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you for all that you do.
Siobhan.
Yes, yes. You know, his energy, like I feel his like focus is right here on my
Really?
nose. Yeah.
Do you feel like vibrating?
Yes, yeah, it's just different. It's like when he, like, because I felt he'll come in first, but then, Archangel Metatron came in or said, I'll go first because we weren't ready. But yeah, I had noticed it, like it, and then when I felt it come
I,
back
I
in
think you
again,
weren't recognizing what was going on.
yeah, well, it
But
was different. Yeah.
yeah, it's different. It was like a different experiment. And I think you've graduated, my dear. You've graduated to another
Oh,
level.
yes. Oh my gosh. And I always
Do you
have
want me
like
to stop recording
tears.
now? Or do you want me to keep recording this part?
Oh. Whew. I think we could kind of wrap it up. Look, I don't know. Do you want to wrap it up with
How do
him
you
talking?
wrap this up? How do you wrap this up? Like
Oh my
not
gosh.
for nothing, but like, wow, what an experience is this? How fun
Yes.
is this? Like, what amazing life we have ahead of us. If this is what her life is going to be like, Javon,
Yes.
things have definitely changed.
No, I know, I know.
This
And
is
they
like the
do. They're
best,
like,
most funnest thing I've ever done in my life. And I am like I sound like Cloud Nine. Like I'm like in heaven right now. Like
I
I
think
was.
I even told him, like, please don't do, we had conversations before this. I'm like, please don't try to sing or.
He was actually now. He was. He might even sing the one he's been singing to me all week.
Yes, and I almost feel like I
You
really
laugh,
actually do feel like dancing, like it's weird.
but you be lying and you're like, please, like, let me
Ah,
have some control over the situation. And you were lying there, and your makeup was so beautiful when you were lying there, especially when the sun was hitting you earlier. I was like, your
yeah.
makeup looks so beautiful. I wanted to tell you that. I get to tell you that earlier. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's glowing. She's like, and then your makeup matched perfectly with the cushions. And
Oh,
and I hope like people have fun with this. I hope people understand that this is what our new life is going to be like. And
yes.
that we are going to have connections. Talking about joy and celebration is not going to be about sorrow. It's not going
Mm.
to be about horrible things. It's about finding beautiful solutions. They're going to start giving us information of stuff that's going to help us become better humans and create a better world. And we need to put behind all
Oh
the
my
negative stuff
gosh.
that we already went through. We just need to just let it go. Let's stop talking about it. Let's stop focusing about it.
He's
Let's
definitely
focus
still
on stuff
here.
we
Like I'm
want to do.
hearing, make it a better place. Like,
I know that's all we tell the
I
world,
know.
heal the world, and it was like heal the world, tell the world, make
Yeah.
it a better place for you and
Yeah,
for
for
me and
me.
the entire human race. It was so beautiful to wake up every morning with him singing to me.
Yes. Yes.
And that is what we need to do. Namaste to
Mm.
all that are listening, to all that will get this message.
Oh,
And I love you and I honor you all. And we're so honored to share this story with everyone. Thank you.
yes. Love you. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Adanya. Thank you.
Thank you.